Welcome back to Dinner with Jay-Z with your hosts, Jazmine and Zina. If you're listening to this episode, you've probably been here for a while and you know how to find us on socials. So we don't have to go through that one more time. But if you don't know, you can find us in the show notes if you are new here. Welcome to our show where we love talking about money, career, and success in general.
So today, buckle up, get a drink. I don't know, just get comfortable. We are going to talk about influencers. We're going to discuss exactly what it is to be an influencer, influencers in the Bahamas, and I guess by extension the Caribbean if you're listening from somewhere else regionally. Who do we consider to be influencers and things of that nature. We know that it tends to be a hot topic on the internet and one we all join in discussing on the timeline, and we love it. Actually, every single time it comes up, I usually have something to say. I think it actually came up recently. Did I participate? I don't know. But I love talking about it anyway because Zina and I, we always like to say that we're not finance experts and we're not HR experts, but one thing that we do and have expertise in is marketing, PR, social media, and that also includes social media influencers. We work for companies who more than likely have contracted influencers before. So I would like to think that we actually have some level of expertise today.
Yes, for once.
So we can have some jokes. We can get off because that's what we do. But I think, maybe we'll learn a thing or two today. Yeah. Let me know.
So, if you're here to learn out loud with us, we're still learning even though we're experts in this particular field. As always, we start our show with rapid fire. I feel like I could say as always by now. It's been a couple episodes,
It's qualified now.
So we have a little this or that. Instagram or Twitter?
Twitter.
Yes.
But yes,
I'm a Twitter girl.
Yeah.
I like Instagram too, but I am much more consistent on Twitter. Like, you could catch me there on a daily basis. Instagram, I might just watch your stuff and exit.
That's true. I tell people all the time, I live on Twitter. Like,
same.
That's
me.
That's home base for me.
All right, YouTube or TikTok?
YouTube. I watch YouTube on my TV, and I don't have time for all the different stuff. I mean, like, I like TikTok. I like the content that people come up with because I think it's so creative. But I can end up down a rabbit hole watching people clean throat and things like that.
Oh my God, yes. When I first signed up for TikTok, Clean Talk was literally my favorite. I now have like a couple more favorites. Like, I like book talk. I like food talk, chef talk. I like drama talk, messy talk. All of them are my talks. However, I am still a OG YouTube girl. Like, I could watch YouTube literally all day. I love TikTok. Don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't participate on TikTok because I made a TikTok one time talking about groceries and everyone was like, girl, you see what you bought? Of course your groceries expensive. And I was like, okay, that's it. Never making another video again.
I mean, I think you should still post on your TikTok.
Yeah, but
you should still do your grocery hauls because, I mean, listen, you ain't in
that's
the
not
corned
my
beef
target
category,
market. No,
okay?
absolutely not.
You ain't in the corned beef category. If anything, you would corn your own beef by yourself.
Exactly. But, the people were not here for it. All right. So, lifestyle influencers or niche influence. What? Oh, sorry. I saw something on the desk. My bad, y'all.
Not the creepy crawlies in the place.
Lifestyle influencers or niche influencers?
If I had to choose, right now I probably would lean more towards the lifestyle influencers, and only because like some of the people who I consider on the internet to be lifestyle influencers, I kind of relate to them at this point in life.
Agreed.
So like there's this girl, Nitra B, she's from Alabama. She has a son around the same age as Jalen, and that's the kind of content like she into. Clean with me, morning routine, evening routine, like that's my favorite kind of stuff.
I love like the extra long clean with me is if you're clean with me 3 hours, I am your girl.
Yeah, because you say clean with me, it cannot
You
be.
cannot clean in 20 minutes, friends. So
Their videos be like 12 minutes long. Like clean with
yeah,
me. Like
no.
clean what
I
exactly?
and I like the like clean with me and then the decorate with me for the
Oh yeah,
holidays. So like you do your whole
yeah.
cleaning and then you switch from like your Christmas to your Valentine's Day. That's me.
There's this girl. She's from Canada. Her name is Angie Belmont. Now I am 100% influenced by Angie Belmont. Number one, she's very kitschy. She's all into seasonal living, but she's also a Disney girl. Like she loves going to Disney World. She
Love it.
actually, her and her husband, they purchased a property at Disney.
Love
Like
it.
it's like their dream home. So like they have a very nice home in Canada, but they also have one.
The
He's like,
Disney home.
I think it's like a $3 million home.
Wow.
In it's called Golden Acres, Golden Acres, I think, something like that.
Love it. Okay, so I think I'm also a lifestyle girl, guys. Perfectly curated content or natural content. Like you just, do what inspires you.
I love when people post perfectly curated content, like when they have like the whole color grid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm inspired by it, but personally, I
I can't
can't.
keep it up. There's this girl that I follow, Anne Wynn, and she used to do like the color thing. So like even she used to plan her grid out months in advance.
Hmm.
So like even her clothes, the
The
backgrounds, like
lipstick,
the
all of that.
lipstick, everything would be that color. So if it's blue, the clothes only blue or the background only blue.
Hmm.
If it's green, and then like she would also do like a transition one. So like the transition one would have the blue and the green or the pink and the purple so you could know what color she transitioned into next.
Hmm.
It was crazy. I loved it. But even she said like it was ridiculous to keep up with. So
Yeah.
eventually she transitioned to a more normal grid.
Yeah.
But I love that.
I'm Reezy. I think had one of like the best color
Oh
series that I
yes.
had ever
Even
seen.
though,
But locally, someone who I thought did it really well was Ashley Swaby.
yes.
She
I
does
did
her
enjoy
thing.
that
She
as
does
well.
her thing on her timeline. But for me,
I love to see a curated grid, but I can't keep it up.
I post them like and even when I do presentations, so like recently I did a presentation for some of the participants for the UB pageant. I was kind of telling them, like, I showed them my news feed and I basically told them I post the things that make sense to me. Like at the end of the day, I I like this, I like this, I like this. I all about my family, I all about my friends. I like to go out to eat, and you will go on my
It's
news feed and
reflected.
literally see who I am from there.
Yeah.
And it just don't include that whole perfectly curated thing. Because my life ain't perfectly curated. But I love to see other people do it
Me
because it,
too. I love it.
yeah.
It brings me joy. So our last one, posting to Instagram like a grid, the 369s, or, posting when and what you feel.
So I actually think I prefer to post in the grid, but a lot of times I don't do it. But like let's say so I went on a trip to Andros. I think it was last year. Last year
Mhm.
and I I literally did post to the grid. I actually also had like the same Lightroom setting on each of the photos so like it flowed, like it was
Now
nice.
that's
I enjoyed that.
dedication.
I enjoyed that.
Well, I've stopped recently, but I used to always consistently post in threes. Everybody knows this and used to mention it about me. Like if I take a birthday picture, I have to post three. If I go out to eat with my friends, like I have to post three.
Mhm.
If I go to the beach, you're going to see three beach pictures. But I have recently given it up because people were like, this is not normal life. Like they like to see
Who is people?
photo the photo dumps, and I started to like the photo dumps as well. So I was like, okay, let me try out the photo dumps, and I'm
I mean,
trying it
that's cool,
out.
but you could. I mean, like you could do. Why not do all? Like, why not do all the things you want to do?
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying out the photo dump way right now. But actually, I really love my threes, so I think I'm just gonna photo dump until like it gets back to the grid, and then I'm
Mm,
gonna go back to my grid because I feel like the grid is me
yeah, I mean, I think it's ways to. There are ways for you to do your grid,
and
but then
photo dump in
yeah,
between.
you could do like
Like you could do a grid with like the photo dump in the
in the
middle.
middle. Yeah.
So, obviously, clearly that's my thing. But Now that we've gotten done with our rapid fire,
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about influencing. And, every single time it comes up on the timeline, there's always this argument on, oh, we don't
we
have
don't have influence.
influencers. I
Yes,
mean,
yes,
yes, we
we
do.
do. Yes, we do. Y'all had the line to out east in the road. We have influencers.
Big time, big time. Everybody getting that candy barbecue because everybody was on the timeline raving about it. I'm mad at the people who was like, "Oh, this food shouldn't be this cheap." Stop
Stop
saying
it.
that.
Stop it. Because now when I go back, the food is going to be $9 instead of 7. Shut up.
Like, stop saying that. You getting all this food, just be thankful. Don't tell
That's
people
it.
that it shouldn't.
That's it.
That's the same way y'all always be talking about Twitter shouldn't be free.
Yes, it should.
Yeah, it should.
It should.
If I have to stop paying to be on Twitter, even though I love it,
I blocking all y'all who said this shouldn't be free. And my block list already dead long.
I also got to leave Twitter because, like, I'm not paying to be there. Like, first of all, I should be doing some other things with my time anyway.
That's true.
So I'm not gonna be paying to be wasting my time like I normally do.
That's
on
true.
Twitter.
Although I feel like my time these days is supremely maximized, actually.
You go, girl. I love that.
I love it.
Productivity is key.
Yeah, but I mean, I love it and I hate it. But for today's topic, we're actually bringing in our engineer. He's going to be joining the conversation. He's silent right now,
I
but
feel like
once we
every
ask the
episode,
question,
I have a special like sound effect. What's up with that? And then he never
and he
the
never
sound
puts them
effects
in. What's going on
I
there?
don't care, boy.
You don't love us.
I guess I was an influence to do it.
Whoa.
That
Yeah,
makes
then.
this topic extra funny.
Yeah, then. So yes, our producer extraordinaire, our sound engineer, you may know him as CamTheComfort. You may know him as Pun. I don't know. I know I call him Pun.
Up on
People just be calling him by his
one.
first name. I never call him. I don't think I've ever called him by his first name. So
That's
y'all
kinda
know
like,
Pun.
you know, when I go work out and everybody be calling him by his name, and I'm like, who is that?
So Pun,
I just glad, I like what you guys doing, the concept that you guys got going on, and everything you guys talk about is super dope. And I get to have dinner with Jay-Z
Yes.
every freaking week.
even though we don't be eating,
Either
At all.
we can change that though.
We have to
can be
change
eating.
that.
We can be
Not
next
soon.
season.
not
Next
this studio.
season. Next season we can be
Next
eating.
season, we might have our own studio.
Easy, manifest.
Of course.
So, what are your thoughts before we get into it on what an influencer is? So before you talk, I'm gonna say what the Oxford Dictionary defines an influencer as. So there's the basic noun of an influencer because that's an actual thing. Like even beyond social media, the word influencer means something, and it's a person or a thing that influences another. But in regards to marketing, an influencer is a person with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service by promoting or recommending the items on social media. Like the girl who was like, Sibian, I normally is recommend your things, but it's
But
very
this is very
painful.
painful.
After that, I bet y'all didn't buy not a Christ thing from Sibian. Y'all
That's
didn't
it.
want that pain.
That's an anti-influencer.
Well, it influenced you not to
It influenced you
buy.
not to buy, so you might consider somebody else.
Mhm.
So, what do you think is an influencer?
I really separate influencer from popular person, right? That's what I like to do because, I think some marketing people make the mistake of we want to get a popular person to do this or share this, and they get upset when that popular person isn't known for that, isn't respected for that, or, they don't really care about that. So they ain't gonna put the effort you may need for people to care about it as well. The people I see as influencers are the people of let's say I have a friend, right? And when we were in college, right, guys would be around talking sports, right? And they say, boy, no, boy, LeBron is this, no, boy, Kobe is that. And the only way to end the argument, they look around and say, boy, where your boy is, man? Tell him come here. Where he is? And he just say, how much LeBron dropped last year? He say, yeah, he averaged 36 points a game. Right? And everybody shut up after that. Right? That guy put in the work. He was known for knowing his stats, knowing his stuff. Whenever that thing came about, he influenced how people that then went about feeling or stuff. Or when something came up, they know that's who I go in to
Yeah.
see
Mm-hmm.
about it. All right. So that's who I consider the influencers, the people who, when they say, y'all, I just been by this restaurant and you could believe these little small plates the food was on. And every time you think restaurant, you think, I wonder when they going, when you going. You've been to the, that's who
Yeah.
I consider the
Yeah.
Yeah.
influencers. They known for that particular thing. And yeah, that's how I see
Yeah.
an influencer.
And I actually don't think that you have to be popular to be considered an influencer. And
Absolutely not.
I like the example that you brought up, because when you really think of what are the makings of an influencer, number one, whatever that person talks about, they need to be considered an expert or someone who is just well versed,
Respected.
well versed, respected, in that regard.
Whatever
Like,
that thing is.
if Nick International tell me Morgano food tastes bad and he ordered a million things,
I ain't going.
I already looking at it sideways. Like, if somebody say, okay, I have to go for my birthday, I probably will go, and like I can taste something. And if that tastes bad, I'd be like, I already knew it was gonna taste bad because Nick says so.
That's
And
true.
if Mick goes somewhere for lunch and he say this thing slapping, I know it's slapping because I gotta go get the food, take a picture of it, and
And
then
I tweet like Mick.
tweet like Mick.
Yeah, and I appreciate seeing marketing people notice those people and give them
Yeah.
the opportunity to do things or give them, because to no one, some people, this is the bad side of the influencer debate, I think. I don't think those people set out to be an influencer.
No.
No.
They like a particular thing, they're passionate about a particular thing, and they speak about it, they do things about it, and they really care about it. So I like to see when they are seen, noticed, and given opportunity to kind of delve a little bit more
Yeah.
into what they like, because they're the ones who are gonna appreciate it. I don't like, just seeing somebody, why you over there over Atlantis, you scared of bridge.
But
right?
I think that the people set out to be oh
Not
my
scared
god.
of bridge.
I think they set out to be content creators. And that's why like a lot of times people will be like, oh Zina, you're an influencer.
Yeah.
I don't really see myself as an influencer. I see myself as someone who creates content and that content does influence people.
But do you not see yourself as an influencer because of the connotation it tends to have in our culture?
No, not really, I just think that my influence is more smaller. So that's why I started telling people when
But
they're
you
like,
still have
okay,
it.
you're an influencer. I'm like, okay, I'll accept like a micro
Right.
influencer
You
because
still
of the
have it.
amount.
If we're going by the definition that I gave, especially in regards to marketing, right? A person
Yes.
with the ability to influence potential buyers of a product or service by promoting or recommending something. You do your lipstick hauls, you do your lipstick series and stuff like that. We've been doing that from time.
Yeah.
When you was reviewing them NYX Wicked lipsticks, I remember that, and
That's
I was
true.
into that, and that made me want to get some things. And I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm not the only person who would say, well, oh, Zina actually, seeing her tweet about it or post this thing made me consider actually buying. That's influence.
That's
You don't
true.
have to be popular. You ain't gotta
No.
be a gal with bottles in the club
But that's
to
the-
get me to buy a
I
lipstick.
actually also don't think the same thing, like what he said, like popular people, just because you have popularity doesn't mean that you are an influencer. Sometimes you popular because I like to see your stuff or I like to see your post, but that don't mean if you say, hey girl, this way going on Saturday, meet me there, like I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, well, and I think it just depends on what you like the person for. So like if you
Yes.
like somebody for their lifestyle, like if you like the fact that they all about that nightlife when they going out and this and that or whatever, then if they do post that they having a party or they hosting a party, the people who like them for that
For that
night
content are going to
lifestyle,
support.
they going.
And that's the
But
thing.
you known for nightlife. You known for going out and partying and having a good time, and like you always do it big when you go out. And then like you selling like energy drink.
But that's that at least that kind of close because you need the energy to party. I would accept that quicker than I would accept like, a tile store saying like, "Hey, come sell these tiles."
Yeah,
And
that's
you
what
have that happening a lot here, and I think that also kind of tarnishes the brand recognition that an influencer could have, because why is it that you are a food blogger but you telling me go buy tiles? Like, yeah, you
Yeah.
might be renovating your house, but I'm not coming to you for house content.
Fair. So then, you are a marketing professional, PR communications professional. Whose fault do you think it is when we have people who are known for one thing, all of a sudden now they on contract to promote this next thing that they never talked about before, never spoke about it in their life, don't know nothing about it, can't even say.
I
Y'all is been messing up the people brand name and
I
all.
think it's a three-pronged problem. One, the influencer should not be taking all of these deals just because they see a dollar sign. I
Mm-hmm.
understand why they may feel motivated to take it, because a lot of times you have influencers here feeling like, oh, people don't respect me, people don't want to pay my rate, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
when they get a deal that may not be in their niche, but it paying their rate, they take it anyway, because it's like, well, anybody else can give me this kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel you, like, get paid, nigga, get paid. But every deal is not the deal for you.
I agree.
The
I agree.
second part of the problem is you have these people in marketing, PR, communications, social, digital, etc. positions that they get tasked with seeking out these influencers,
Mm-hmm.
because XYZ person at the company might like them, might say, oh, well, they have 5,000 followers, so get them, because that's going to equal sales. When you have the expertise, you should be saying, like, yeah, but this person never talk about Burger King a day in their life. They are a
Mm-hmm.
vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we going to this person? And they don't push back, because this higher up person say get this person, and they just take it. You shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't do that.
I mean, and I guess that's a conversation for another day too. But I think sometimes some people who work in marketing, they ain't even really know exactly what they supposed
they
to be
lazy.
doing. They lazy. They are lazy. They
Or
don't
they
have
winging it.
and
They winging it.
they have no
Expertise
no, they don't
themselves.
have no
Man,
expertise. They don't really understand what a KPI is,
No.
and like how do you track the success of somebody who's known for partying selling your eye cream, I
and
mean,
that,
or whatever like
Yeah.
that.
that's another thing. When you put the numbers into it, you ruin everything. I mean, you ruin most things when you just look at numbers. A lot of companies, they looking at numbers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Gina said, how much followers they have.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big name? But you may look at numbers, and they may go online with your product, but they're not gonna put the effort that somebody
No.
who actually cares about it will,
Mm-hmm.
and is yeah, people seen it, but they weren't influenced.
Yeah.
They
So
people
now
are
you
acting as
saying,
a billboard, right? So
Yeah.
it's literally people act, and I
mm-hmm.
think that's different. Is sponsored posts
Mm-hmm.
versus working together
On a campaign.
with an
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
influencer, right? Or I think if somebody would approach me to be an influencer or something, it would be, we're doing this. We want to show you this. We want to get what you think about it. We want to kind of bring you into the family almost, or
Mm-hmm.
like give you an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to grow with us as well, with the brand. Not just hold this up, drink this soda while you on live,
But see, that works for you because
right?
your content or your niche is like your thoughts. It is your opinions on something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you are a
Like
show
sauce.
host,
Like sauce.
Well, I'm
I
not
you
get
talking
know?
that.
about me in
So
particular.
that's you in particular. But
But in general, I think
yes,
that that's how you
That's
should
it.
work with
Yeah.
an
yes,
That's how
influencer,
I
you should
agree.
look at it.
right? Definitely, not. I
Not
just
not
want to
just
differentiate
not
for
here,
that.
not
Mm-hmm.
just drink this soda today.
Yeah, it's
Like,
difference
it should be a
between,
Yeah.
long-term relationship,
yeah,
Oh,
not,
because
but they don't want to commit to anything
no,
long
they
yeah,
term. They
just want
want
to pay.
because that
They
one
just want to pay
post,
for that one post.
may
But the
not get
whole
them what
thing
they want.
about social influencing, it's not about that one post. Social influencing is really about building a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
because The whole time that you are creating this content, you should be creating a relationship with your
Mhm.
followers.
Mhm.
Like, they are not going to just be there for buy this stretch mark cream,
Yeah,
you know?
because your community's supposed to trust you,
Yes.
and how am I supposed to trust you
If
if
you
you,
only shilling products.
yeah, you only just pop up with this thing, and like
They shouldn't.
every week you pop up with this brand new
And
thing.
like
And
last
you
week you was
dead
on a
excited.
diet and this week you eating McDonald's. That's not realistic.
You dead excited.
Y'all had everybody influencing y'all to get that flipping black peel off mask doing garbage with y'all skin. I, not me though.
Not me
Yeah,
though.
that's it.
But yeah, and
Easy.
then the third problem that you have is you have people who don't know anything about the field at all. They just know that they like somebody. So they like, hey, get this person,
Mhm.
no matter the costs.
Mhm.
But like, our sound engineer says, it's never for a relationship building contract.
No.
It's just a one off, a one off, a one off.
Yeah.
If you just hire somebody to talk about your paint for one day, that is not going to really convert into
Yeah.
any meaningful sales.
You know who does it well? Ianthea. With her, she has a relationship with Sandbox Bahamas, and it just makes sense. She has a
Yes,
young daughter.
exactly.
I mean, she was gonna buy that clothes anyway,
Anyway,
and it just works, and it's convincing because her daughter is wearing the clothes. There's no way in hell you never wear these people clothes. You never show me
ever.
anything. I can't even picture you in the thing, but you posting it on your stuff.
Exactly. It
It's
makes
it's
no
not it's
sense.
inauthentic, and it's not convincing. And I think a big part of influencing is you have to be convincing. I have to be able to trust you when you
Yes.
say this thing good for true.
Yeah. So is this girl too that I like that does it? I mean, obviously I'm into the makeup thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she is on TikTok. But her I think, is Dari Skin. And she's one of the younger people. And usually I'm like, hey, I don't really like the younger girls.
She's
But
local.
yes, she is local.
Okay.
But she does like these kind of stitches on TikTok where it's like, okay, if people say this product is good, she tries the product, she does a little review thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
she's like, yeah, like this now in my top, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So like she talked about the one size, the
Oh
set and
yeah,
spray, and I
from
was like,
Patrick
all
Store.
right, I buy in this. I mean, I still didn't buy it yet, but that's
You
in my
want to?
next haul.
I want to.
It's in my next haul. So stuff like that, like you have to let me believe that you really like this product.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, cool. Because at the end of the day, I spending my money
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I work hard.
And child things already getting expensive as it is. So we don't have no time to be wasting no money. Period. Period. So, who are some of our favorite influences? I really want to know from Pun.
Yes.
Um, you're a guy, so you have a different perspective from
Yeah.
us. Like obviously, you
There's a
know,
lot of lifestyle, skincare, makeup influences, but who
yeah.
who are the more?
Talking about people you guys may know.
Um,
I mean,
I just want to know. I just want to
yeah.
know. And so obviously you may have some international influences that you know respect or whatever. But I would also like to know who you would consider an influencer personally
That you
locally.
enjoy.
Hmm.
For me, it's just rough to walk that line between, shall I say, eh, and not,
Well, we ain't asking
right?
you who you hate. We just want to know who has influenced
No, it's
you.
just it's just hard to think about, right? When I think about it, I would say people who have influenced me are Shin Win,
Love
Yes,
Stephen
him.
Hanna.
he's one of my
You
faves.
know,
Hi, Steven.
we went to school together, and he been doing a lot of things. And I kind of look at how he looks at certain things,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
puts it together, even his growth and how he upgrades his setups, upgrades his style, puts work into what he does,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. Also, I'm trying to think. I don't have much
It's
people I
okay.
would call.
He said, "When I don't like mom being no niggas. Ain't no niggas can influence me to do nothing." Yeah.
It's okay. I also love
um,
Shinwin, however you say it, but his social commentary is just like chef's kiss.
And it
yeah.
makes you want to know more about
Um,
exactly what's going on because he
That's true.
delivers it in a way that just makes sense, and you could laugh at.
yeah.
I mean,
You can
some stuff
laugh,
that
but
ain't
like
really funny.
Yeah,
it
but
ain't. You
it
can laugh,
wouldn't.
but it's
It's
that
certain
funny.
things that he point out would either influence you to care about it or influence you to look at it a little bit more. And it's I'm kind of torn because there's people who I like to post to see their content, but it's really them just sharing for their brand.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
I like when Chef Nikki posts this,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
But that's just her food, right?
but I mean, in a way, she's influencing herself because she posts her food, but then when she say pop up Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
line down the road.
Yeah.
And then I also liked one thing that she did, and I guess I don't know. Maybe we're not gonna call it influencing because what she does is self promotion,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that she did that I really liked one time on Twitter, she was like, "Ask me anything about food," and people were asking her about like techniques that
Yep.
she used, and I
Mm-hmm.
just thought it was good
I loved it.
that she was able to just bring that value to the people who follow her in that way. Like they didn't have to buy anything
Nope.
or anything like that. Like she literally just
But
dropped
that's
knowledge on them for free.
Yeah, like I really appreciate people who are on social media passionate about things, right? And it's hard for me to call them influencers, but I'd like to see them. Like, shout out to Shanae with the drink reviews with
oh
the
Yeah.
yes. Now
right.
that's an influencer.
I've never
Mhm.
gone and gotten any
I
drinks,
have actually purchased 3 drinks that she's recommended.
right?
I've
So,
been to Starbucks. I've been to Starbucks or Dunkin' to get a drink since.
hmm
I've started to see her stuff, but like
hmm
I take mental notes
yeah,
of
I
the
literally
things that
take
she reviews.
screenshots and I put it in a folder. And when I go
and
to
you were
Starbucks, I pull it up
you
and I
pull
be
it up
like,
and say
"Hey,
that one,
yeah, this
give
the
me
drink I want today."
that.
And then people just be like,
Right.
Mhm.
And I
"Okay,
mean, whenever I see I like it, I share it just because I see a passion there and Starbucks did reach out to her
yes,
and that's what I try to tell people about advertising too. It isn't about that big bang. You be like, who do we spend our money with to who could see it the quickest and what's
no,
not. It's more about the more value you get from ads is the length of time it's on.
Mhm.
Because you
mm-hmm."
could have, an ad running all day for 2 days and it
And still
doesn't
only
do
30 people see that.
right, as well as an ad
Wasting
that's
money.
infectious. You only know the Shoe Village song because that was on the radio. Every time you
Shoes
turn on the
for a
radio,
walk
Shoes
of
of
life.
you know what I'm
life
saying? Now, when you
inside.
think of clocks, that's a part of your,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just in there. So that's the people I like to see as well. I'm sure more gonna come as you guys start to think and stuff like that. You know.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So, I guess if we want to talk mainstream local
Yes.
influencers, like people who like doing this for true, like this
Hmm.
this they consider themselves to be influencers. They are content creators. Um, two of my faves. Well, I have a new fave now too, so I have three faves. Ianthea, because she's a mommy blogger. I mean, she's also a lifestyle blogger, and also reminds me that I need to get on my content
Yes.
creation. She is around me just as much as I row her. Behaminista, Krista has always been one of my faves on social media. I love the opportunities that she's been getting
Yes.
with the sponsorships and stuff like that. And
New
Bra-
fave.
my new fave is Danelle, okay? Nell
Oh
Star, she
yes.
doing her thing. And like,
I love to see it because she always tweets like, "Hey guys, I want to get 10,000 followers by the end of this week."
but the thing is, okay, so you may not know, because you ain't from Nassau, but back in the day, like when we first got on Facebook, she always used to post like her makeup and her outfits and stuff like that. But like she was just doing it for fun, right?
Hmm.
But think about all your favorite influencers. They always
That's
just
how they
started out.
started
They
it out.
started out doing it just for fun, and over time she did it less and less. But she just determined last year to do this thing for true. And now
Mhm.
she's out here getting sponsorships,
Sponsorships
and
after sponsorships
I
after
love that for her.
sponsorships. I love it too. I don't
Love
really
that
know
for
her
her.
like that, but I just love it. And I be liking her pictures every day because she literally posts every day, every
Hmm.
single day, multiple times a
And I don't
day.
know how
And I
she's
was like,
doing because
all
she have a job.
and children and a
Hmm.
husband and she's cook and a house
Love that for her.
and she's clean and decorate the
And they have
house, girl.
tenants too. So
And you
like,
have an apartment on the side. You have a like how I would like to find the time because even though I say that I'm being more productive this year, like I still feel like some days it's just a lay in bed day.
hmm, hmm, yep.
And now she says she want to become a photographer again because she been taking her own pictures for her socials
And they
anyway.
fire, fire,
Love it.
fire. Love that.
Who's my favorites? I really have to think about it because I feel like my favorites are random people.
But what about mainstream? I mean, think about some mainstream
Like
people, like people who are like
real
actual influencers.
real random people. Okay, so one of my new favorites is the girl. She does makeup. I think her name is like
Hi,
King Lee
Jasmine.
or
Yeah.
yep, that
Hmm.
one. Even though like all the makeup looks don't be for me, I just like it for some reason. Like I just like her stuff.
And it probably just inspires you to like
I just like it.
do more, and get more
And
creative
that
with
day
your
when she
stuff.
like the other day I was watching her on TikTok and she was saying how, she been creating content for so long and now she feel like she's just watching all these people come and get all these deals while like, when she first started creating content, people used to be like, "Hey girl, you trying to be an American?" I
Um,
was like, "Oh god."
you know, how I feel about it sometimes. Like, I don't like to watch what people, how
Yeah.
people end up succeeding, because it takes a bit of bravery
Yes.
to do some things.
Yes.
You can't mind. These people ain't making no money.
Not at all.
They hating because they don't want you to do better, right? So you can't mind what people saying. Sometimes you just gotta do the thing. Like, if you want to do that, and you have to figure out like, how are the people who I aspire to be like doing what they're doing. A lot of
Mhm.
people don't do enough self promotion.
No.
They don't run people down and say, hey,
Bring me
um,
my money.
these are my figures. So I have this many people watching. I've posted this link before. I've gotten this many conversions based on it. Like, you have to come with your facts.
Mhm.
If somebody comes to me and I'm heading a marketing department and we have something, and if they come to me with all of their facts straight, I'm more inclined to
To
work
get
with them
yeah.
because you know your stuff. And
Yep.
this business, I need to know that when you post this thing and we do our campaign, that you'll actually have some conversions. We can make some money.
Yep.
Period.
I also I like Bahama Beauty. I like watching the videos because I
Oh
love
yeah.
YouTube. I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
I
All
love
them
YouTube.
wig reviews. Love it.
And I always talk on Twitter how I am not really a wig girl. I throw the wig on like a slap back and hit the function, you know? But I just love her wig reviews. I think I just love hearing her talk and I also love to watch her makeup content because that's my type of content. That's my jam.
And she's also
So,
funny as hell on Twitter.
yeah,
And
no,
I
like
mean,
for real.
completely unrelated, but she's very funny
Funny
on
as
Twitter.
hell. So, that's another one of my favorites. That's why I say I feel like my favorites are very random, very unexpected.
But
Who
I still
else do I like?
maintain that Nick and Mick
I love
are,
them.
but Mick does not necessarily call himself an influencer. Nick doesn't either, right?
No. I
They are both
food
content creators.
bloggers,
Yeah,
content
they're content
creators.
creators
And y'all, I did write a recipe for their thing, the
for
superior
the
tart.
superior tart.
Yes.
And I know that's coconut tart
Of
because
course it
ain't
is.
nobody eating no pineapple tart.
The
But
superior tart.
That's why it was a whole debate about tarts the other day.
Yes, because Nick and Mick, they have now started a blog, the Food and Culture blog, FCC, something like that. And they got a couple food bloggers, a couple people that just tweet about food and stuff like that to do some guest spots.
mm-hmm.
And I did one of the guest spots because everybody be watching me on Sunday bake all the things.
Sure enough,
And I was like, as soon as they asked me to be a guest spot, I was like, I know what I doing because Nick
is
always,
he's vehemently against coconut
always
tart.
on the timeline talking about how he hate coconut tart. And I was like, I'm making a coconut tart.
He's a nasty hater. Nasty
And
hater.
so I did
I
for their
just love
website.
I just love telling people Not to yuck other people's yums.
Yes.
It's my favorite phrase now.
But coconut is the superior tart.
I
And
don't
I
like
mean,
hot, I don't like hot pineapple.
Could,
Like,
me neither. I don't
could
like
we
hot
curse on
pineapple.
this?
I mean, like don't like free gold.
Yeah.
You shouldn't put two bodies up against each other.
I don't like hot pineapple like
I don't
Jazmine
like hot
says.
pineapple.
Like
But,
I don't like
You
hot
know,
pineapple.
down in the Lutra, rest in peace, Miss Brenda Cooper. We used to get the combo tart.
But yes, a Luthra
With half
pineapple
pineapple and
makes sense.
halves of
That
coconut.
just makes
Okay.
sense. But Nick hate coconut tart, and so I
Like,
know.
you shouldn't be hating coconut tart now.
Yeah, that's
unless you're
wild.
allergic. Unless you're allergic.
That's
to
the
coconut.
only lie I will give.
That's it.
But I mean, obviously on the blog post, I go into details of like couple reasons why people hate coconut tart. Because
Mhm.
there's a couple reasons why you could, minus allergies. And I feel like mine, combats all those reasons.
I don't want to throw a wrench in the conversation. Are there notable influencers in your circle or who you see who we would say are relationship influencers? Whereas you don't
Harrison.
influence relationships, but they influence certain viewpoints, right? For or against
Talking
certain
about
things.
relationships or just like pictures.
They influence.
Or like you mean like hashtag goals?
No, I'm talking about people who could go on social media and
Mm-hmm.
say, we aren't doing this, or look for this as the new standard of that. And people kind of follow suit to that, or, because I know one instance that happened, and you guys did the episode already, but it was ice cream,
The ice cream date.
right? But I wouldn't see that person as an influencer. But now, when there are conversations about money and dates,
You hear it come
We
back up.
mentioning that
Yeah.
person
I
because we
won-
once say.
and I also wonder what she has to think about it. I've mentioned her. I was like, "What you think about this?" Right?
But also, I think that on social we just have some people where we like their thoughts. Like
Yeah.
I can't lie, like I have gotten invited to some things because people was just like, I like to see your thoughts on Twitter and I want you to come. So
Must be nice.
I mean, it wasn't the movies though. Just saying.
Speaking of the movies, the influencers went to see Batman before, it premiered at Fusion. I love that for them. I was home.
I was there,
So
Pun and Zina was there though.
but that
so-
don't make me an influencer for that. For that,
how did you feel about the movie?
it was a little long. Can't lie.
Are you a Batman fan?
I am a recent superhero fan.
Now, it's levels. That's why I asked you.
No,
That's why
I
asked
don't
you
like.
if you was a Batman
I
fan.
don't like the bottom tier. I am the bottom tier. I can keep it real with y'all. Like I like superhero movies, but like I'm not gonna be the person in the movie talking about, oh yeah, that's da-da-da-da-da.
Shout
Oh
to
yeah,
the-
when are you gonna get in the Batcave? Ah, yeah. Like no, that ain't me.
But I mean, there's also a room for people who try things, right? That's the type of influencer I would like to be, a try guy. Whereas people come and check me out because, wait, I never had this, but you can't see what this about. Or I never do that, but let's go see what that about,
And give an honest review.
and then give an honest review.
One thing I
Right?
think over here though, like you can't really be giving honest reviews like that because look at a
Too
girl
small.
who talked about Coco Plum on TikTok.
Or they
And
How's
drag
it
her.
to do?
They
And
drag her.
how like she didn't enjoy the food and she was dead hungry. She had to go to Wendy's after. And people was in her comments for days
Calling her
like,
broke.
look at the size of you. Of course you got to go to Wendy's, girl. Like, what?
That ain't funny.
It ain't funny, but it's funny. It ain't funny, but it's funny. It ain't funny because it's mean, but it's funny because like, what that girl even do to y'all for y'all to
No,
go in
they
her
was calling her
mentions
all kinds
for
of broke.
days? They was calling her broke,
ghetto, her palate ain't-
fat. Like, oh, sorry, your palate isn't accustomed to the goodness of Coca Plum.
Oh jeez.
And I mean, like, I went.
I
She
gotta.
didn't like it. I liked it though. I really like Coca Plum. Like, I done been there like 6 times and like I cool.
But that's the thing. All the girlies whose taste that I respect, they love it there. And so I feel like I need to go back and give them another chance.
or maybe we
But-
have to go together so we could.
But I ain't gonna lie, I was dead hungry afterwards. And I did go to Lewis and Staines for dessert. and Wendy's afterwards. And I don't even eat like that. So for me to have to do all two of them afterwards.
You order foolishness. That's all I could say. I
I
mean, like,
ordered
I ain't gonna tell you. I'm not gonna
I
tell you your palate undeveloped. I ain't gonna tell you
I
ghetto and all that
ordered the
stuff.
seafood pasta.
But
I
this
don't eat
why we need that person who goes to these restaurants to tell me what to get. Because
I
I'll go
agree.
and I just don't know the popular item. And then when you ask the waiter, they'd be like, "But everything tastes good."
Exact. And that's
Where
another.
they
You
come
know,
from
His
around
personal
these, like-
favorite is always the most expensive thing on the
Exactly.
menu,
always.
right?
But one thing I realized too, like eating out here, especially because my brother was here for a couple days, and like we went out to lunch a good bit of times while he was here, and I realized that a lot of the like wait staff in these restaurants
Don't
don't,
get to taste
really
anything.
have
Yeah.
food knowledge. They don't really get to taste the dishes because you asking them like simple questions about the dish and they really can't answer it. Like we went to, another place that's a lot of people's faves, and like my brother was asking the guy, like, hey, y'all say y'all have this Thai curry. Like, does the chef make the curry himself or does he get it out of a jar?
He running on.
Ah!
He running on. I know just what that waiter was thinking. He said, "Wait, you
Okay,
running on?"
not
now."
even that. Like, I asked him a question about the drink because they have this drink on the menu that's like some sort of like create your own, and they give a couple options. And so like I asked him, like, okay, so y'all say y'all have this rosemary drink on the menu. Like, do y'all put rosemary in the drink? And the man was like, well, we'll see the syrup right there. And I was like, huh?
You running on. But I
But
think
every
we,
person who goes out to eat is not going to be someone who just wants some food.
yeah. Well,
And it's not like I don't expect you to know everything about the menu, but if you are a certain level of restaurant, I mean, this ain't even that kind of episode, but if you are a certain level of restaurant, you should let your staff know at least what in the dishes. Like, they ain't gonna remember everything, and that's fine.
Child.
I want to find somebody who would be that influencer who, you'll have to support them in their craft to be able to give us a full rundown on everything on these menus. And I appreciate that. And I got to commend the people who has put themselves out there.
Yeah, because they're rough.
It's rough, because I could pick up my phone and do a video at any time, but it's a certain level of motivation you have to have to do that. And, like the girl posting her opinion, it ain't easy to do that every time,
No.
especially after backlash. And to be a consistent
Oh,
influencer,
first of all, if I was to delete my TikTok and y'all never see me again.
you have to have that motivation every time you turn that camera on with a level of positivity that you may help somebody or that you really, talking about your thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask though, we got to get into the negative connotation influencer. Why does that spike up or spark up so much animosity? Make
Because
your
it's
skin go,
important that
"Ugh."
you think that I'm a thug.
I think it's a couple of reasons why people think of it in a negative way. One thing I think is, for the most part, we are haters, right? I mean, like, and I want
No, for
everybody
real.
to admit that a lot of us are haters. We don't really like to see people get
No.
on. We don't like to see people get on, and that's just facts, right? So we like to be able to bring people down to size. So, I know so and so from primary school. She was in nothing or whatever. It does not matter. She has
She's
a following.
something now. Shut up.
She has a following. She doing her thing now. Whatever. She could walk inside the Gucci store, buy what she want, and you mad.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. People are mad that somebody is actually being bold enough, brave enough to sometimes take that leap. Some people just do it and like they'll decide, okay, I quit in my job, or I'll take like a job that doesn't require much
Mental
effort
capacity.
so that I could put a lot of energy into that. And I mean, that's something I wish I could do.
Same.
I mean, but I ain't gonna hate on you for doing it.
No, not at all. And I think that's a lot of thing too why there's a negative connotation is because we don't like to believe that we follow in fashion. And there's another term that I can't use here, but I don't want to offend, some of our non-Bahamian listeners, but we don't ever want to feel like we man. So, and that's a lot of reason why we hate influencers, because why should I listen to what Jazmine have to say? I could think for myself.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, but Jasmine, like Shanae says, I spend my money on Starbucks drinks, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
She done spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on drinks, getting a drink every morning. Y'all know Starbucks ain't cheap.
Hmm.
So just like, why you mad at the content?
Because people just don't want to believe that somebody actually controls in any way,
What they think, say,
directly or
do, feel,
indirectly,
all of that.
all of that.
For me, when Instagram first came about, there were certain people that they were very, very cringy. Like
You mean when we was posting the sky with a filter?
no, I mean not even
Valen-
those. It was
Valencia all
people
day.
who I didn't want to go certain places because there were it was like a group of 5 people, not together, but it was these 5 people who they went to all the new places and they posted and they said, "Oh, woo, oh," right? And once I saw that, it's like, wait, I really didn't want to go, but I definitely ain't going now.
But you know the thing too with
Right?
influencing is it's
It's very
cyclical.
cringy.
No, it's very cyclical as well because whoever those 5 people were, do you see them still?
Yeah, they're still trying. I mean, I don't see all 5, but
All right then.
I see them trying still. But I think that was the most cringy for me, and I like. I think Josh said it. Your followers or people want to build a real relationship with
Yes.
you, and it shouldn't feel as if, oh, y'all ain't get to go here, but I get to go. And
Yeah.
child, this so nice, this so good. I rather, okay, we're here at so and so. It looks good. I mean, I'm wondering. I'm hoping to
Like,
try this. I'm
give me the
hoping to
facts.
try this.
Just give me the
Not.
facts.
And
It was
that's
like a
another
show-off
thing too,
thing.
because
Yeah.
you'll see a lot of influencers get invited to, soft openings, product launches.
And they treat it like they pay they bid it. Like they treat it
No,
like there's royalty.
no,
And the thing is, it's
they
like,
treat it as if like y'all are not here for a purpose.
right.
Right.
I
Like
was
they
just gonna
special.
say that.
You should be letting me know this is what it costs, this
Yeah.
is what you get, this
Yeah.
is what to expect, this is what I had, this is what I enjoyed, this is
I
get-
give me the
But
details.
remember, I think it boils down to who is the person or who are the persons who are inviting these people
Yep.
to these things. So are y'all having a briefing with them when you invite them? Are you telling them exactly what it is you expect? Because y'all is be going on your Instagram and y'all is be making it seem like nah boo boo. I hear y'all ain't.
Yeah.
And
That's
y'all
what
ain't
it
tell me
was.
nothing
Nothing
yet
Yeah.
about
about
the
what
function.
Exactly. That's what
Not
it was.
like, okay, what if I wanted to go here tomorrow? I don't know what it
Yeah.
costs. I don't know what the
Yeah.
menu looking like. I don't know what the
Nothing,
ambiance is.
nothing.
I don't know what kind of outfit to wear because one of y'all had on jeans and the next one had on a prom dress. Like, come on now.
I mean, if we consider the person a celebrity, then it's almost you would just invite a celebrity for a walkthrough
Yes.
and that'll be enough.
for a cameo,
Yes.
and that's
Right, for a
different.
cameo.
That's different.
That's different.
That's
That's
different.
different than
From-
you hiring someone or inviting someone and saying like, "Hey, I am giving you free entrance to this thing, but I really want the people on your following list to know what is my offering here."
Yeah.
And I do think like people don't like to say we don't have any celebrities, but I do think it's fine for someone to be asked to appear as just to pass through
We sure
as a
do.
Yes,
celebrity.
we sure
We
do.
sure
And
do.
it's like I could respect that, but it's two sides to that. You
That's
gotta know
fine,
the
but
difference
if
of
you
that.
have influencer in your Instagram profile, then I'm expecting a different level of service from you. And yes, we do have people that are local celebrities that also do get treated as an influencer. But if influencing is your sole
I
method of followers,
I
mm,
I think the difference is if you invite me for a cameo as a celebrity, you take my picture.
I agree.
If
Yeah.
I as an
Yeah,
influencer,
it's
I
different.
take my own
Yeah,
picture
it's
Yeah.
different. So
and show it off, right?
So like people who I actually would consider to be celebrities and not necessarily influencers, regardless of whether or not y'all agree that they are celebrities, the guidance guys are celebrities.
Right.
I don't
Yes.
care what y'all say. Um
Your Wendy.
They are well known. They well known. They could go to something. They take their picture.
I
Ray look like a model. He does model.
Mhm.
That's to me.
Yes.
That's a celebrity.
I strike celebrity as if my mommy asks me if I know them, or my mommy know who they is. If my mommy knew who you is, then you
That's a
reach.
celebrity.
Like she might say, you know this, and they'll be like, yeah. But if she come to me and say, you ain't know overdose.
That's Quay.
You ain't know
That's
Dasquay.
Quay. That's Quay is a celebrity.
Dasquay is a
Yeah,
celebrity,
he's a celebrity. And Overdose is a celebrity.
Right?
Overdose
So
is a
is
celebrity.
Jasper Williams Ward.
Yes.
A celebrity.
She's
Yeah.
verified on Twitter, guys,
Mhm.
okay?
So yeah, I think it's a difference with them. But
There is a difference. Okay, so what kind of following do you think someone has to have for you to consider them an influencer?
I don't think it's following. I think it's really the work they put in
Mhm.
and the community that they built. I want to see love.
I agree.
I want to see passion. And it ain't about me, but that's what I consider an influencer, right? Me, I think if you want to talk about shows, maybe I may be. You may think of me, right? Or games, video games. I don't know what you would
think
look
I
to me
agree
for.
with you because I also think that people with lower following counts tend to have higher conversion rates when you
Yeah.
really look at it because sometimes you hire this person because you like, oh, they have 20,000, 30,000 followers, but you don't get a single sale from
Mhm.
whatever post they make.
Mhm.
Whereas you may hire someone who have 500 followers, but they are 500 people that are really, really engaged.
Yeah. And yeah, people just so you have all these followers and then you also have a lot of likes, but that's people's just scrolling, they like your
Yep.
content. Cool. But there's never any conversation happening.
Yeah, like what's your engagement rate like?
no one's saying nothing like
No
one,
culture.
they
No
ain't
culture is
even
being
putting
created.
like they're
Yeah.
not even putting the hard eyes under the picture.
no, just
Not even a
like
nice
your picture
pic.
and just keep on going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like what's
So
up
that's
with that?
like, what is your engagement like? What if you put a question post on your stories right now? How much people actually asking you a question?
Right. Yeah, that's why.
Because
That's
you
a good question.
no, for real. You have some people they put up that question sticker and they have to ask themselves questions because you can do that.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody asks them a thing.
Yeah.
What is killing me is when people ask questions on Twitter and then like it don't get nothing. So then like they'll quote tweet
Answer
their
me
question
before I
be
run
like,
out.
And to be before I run out is very
they
funny.
they curse y'all out,
Yeah.
and then somebody will be like, "Oh, hey, yeah."
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
But when I saw
Clearly, it's
that,
a method that works.
It
what-
surely is.
what I used to do is just answer the question with some wrong.
Whoa.
I just like to give wrong answers.
No,
Like,
yes,
Why
you
would
do.
you do
Like people
that?
just be like, "Hey, where can I get
Maybe
a
you could do
eye
chain-
sharpening pencil?" This way, you'll be like,
Kentucky.
"Berta's Google ribs." Like, why you saying that? You go. They see they have some notification. They around here thinking somebody actually answered
Answer
their
the
question.
question. Meanwhile,
Well, I just don't like. Well, I don't mind those stuff, right? But I don't like when people come on social media and ask questions they could have Googled,
I agree.
right?
And many things are Googleable.
Google is free.
Very Googleable. Like I would go on and ask, "Wait, who is do-do-do?" But I already looked to see what I could find,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'll ask and say, "Who is do this?"
Because
and then
now
you
you're
say,
looking for recommendations.
Yes.
right. So I shout out to everybody who used to answer my questions of the day and send their voice notes and stuff. Just thinking on that.
You stopped doing it, eh?
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
What happened? The people tell you they didn't want to hear that. Eh?
No, I get started, but it's hard to find a question every day.
Okay.
We
So
should
what
do a question of the week.
I
You know,
agree.
only 52 weeks
Question
in
of
the
the
year.
week.
a question of the week, and then like every other day you could kind of bring that question back and be like,
Yeah.
just in case you missed it,
Yeah.
here's the question of the week.
Exactly.
Send me your feedback, because then you can get different perspectives.
Well, I might have to get an influencer to get that
To
around
ask
for
But
me.
you
though.
are an
Get that
influencer.
around for me.
But you
You
are
are
one.
an influencer. You
Somebody
may need a
asked me-
brand
You literally
manager.
used to come an hour in advance and say pub tonight. And
So-
people came
so-
to the pub.
Somebody asked me if I consider myself an influencer. I said, "Boy, I literally just tweet about gummy worms, but like I just is put up or talk about
That's your maybe
anything-
your brand is tweeting random things.
anything I like,
I do be influenced to come out when you say you going.
Pub tonight.
I mean, but that's also because
I like I
I
like
rate you I rate
I
you
like the way
highly
you
as a
play.
DJ. So,
I blushing.
oh Lord,
I blushing.
oh brother,
Oh, brother.
cause what the hell?
So fun.
That's a good question though. So, Zeno, would you consider yourself an influencer? Because I think you are.
Yes, I have accepted that I am an influencer because my friends always tell me it. But also, I think too that I have just cultivated a group of people who care about the things I care about.
Mhm.
And like, before when people used to be like, hey, he's an influencer girl, I just used to be like, no, until I started my little survey. And like the amount of people that responded to it, it was very surprising to
Mhm.
even me. Because I thought, like, all right, the same 20 people talking about this conversation day after day. So these are the same 20 people who can answer my survey. I post a little infographic, and that's that.
And just for context, she's talking about criminally underpaid, a new website that she launched. If you missed
Yes.
our last episode, she would have mentioned it. And she still has the survey up on the website, so go and
It's still
visit
there.
criminally
Please
underpaid.
do.
Fill
And
out the
fill
form.
out fill out the survey, and I'll add your information to the site. But yeah, when I put the survey up, I was like, all right, the same 20 people that talk about this topic all the time, because you know who the 20 people is. Like, it's me, it's Jasmine, like, I don't want to call that out, so just in
Yeah, we
case.
can talk. We can talk about money. We can talk about how much we get paid. We can talk about
Yeah.
all these long working hours, like stuff like that. So
And it's the same 20 people. So I was like, all right, that can be my 20 people. But by the end of like 2 hours, 75 people already take the survey.
because a lot of people really want to know.
By the end of the first night, 150 people take the survey. And I mean, now it's kind of plateaued a bit, but that's also because I have stopped pushing it as much, because
Mhm.
I really been in my content creation bag this year. Like, if it ain't the website, I talking about the pod. If it ain't the pod, I talking about my baking. I talking about my reading. Like, I really been creating all of the content that I have wanted to for forever. So I can't always focus on one thing. But
Yeah,
right now I have like over 500 people answering the things. So I feel like
that's a big deal.
I
It's a
can no
big
longer
deal.
say like I'm not an influencer, because clearly I have influenced over 500 people to tell me how much money they make in this Bahamas.
I
And that's
agree. You should, and I mean, you should consider yourself one. But I mean, that obviously does not mean that you're about to put that in your bio tonight.
no, absolutely not. But I've been
Yeah.
updating my LinkedIn. So,
So please stop
you know.
looking at that profile and not calling her back, okay?
Yes,
Hi, girl.
you know.
She's a
So,
professional. She's been doing it
Jasmine,
for years.
are you an influencer?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I would have to let y'all answer that because
Jazz has influenced me to do better.
That's true.
Whenever I need to do better or like
No, for
I too
real.
confident, I say, Jazz, look at this. Or tell me, this all right?
I like that because that sound like I little mean. I ain't want
No,
nobody. I don't want
No,
nobody
no,
to.
no.
no.
To me, it's like, okay, let's say, you know, it's
Beef.
a Wednesday. I know I need to finish X graphic by 5 o'clock, but graphics ain't my fave, so I ignoring it. Here comes Jasmine. I have about 10 graphics to finish by the end of the day.
Yeah,
What
so
are
do
you guys
yours.
doing?
Do yours. Y'all on the timeline running on about all kind of foolishness. Like the hell, go do
And
y'all
so
work.
I go to do it because it's like, all right, at least I
Well,
only have one today.
and for me, and
Shoot, you might as well give me a hand.
I sure people respect Jazz. His opinion.
Yes. I
Real,
think I
cause
think Jasmine is one of people's favorite like
even
Don't
tweeters
say
that
that.
no
no,
on
no.
social
I'm not a
media.
fave.
No,
Not a
not a
fave
fave
though.
like that. I mean like a
No,
favorite tweeter who says the things that everybody is thinking
I
but
just
don't
like
want to say.
I like the balance. I like because if I see a girl running on and the boy come running on, I be like, please, Josh, see this. so you could tell this guy she running on.
I'll just be like,
So I ain't gotta tell her she running on,
I'll
right?
just send it to my DM and he's be like, hey, I really want to know what your thoughts are on this. It's like,
Thoughts? Question mark?
but I guess it's me trying to. Sometimes I be trying to mind my business because also like if it's people on the timeline, like y'all been on the timeline long enough, and y'all also know me, so y'all know when I'm speaking, I'm not trying to style nobody, show nobody up or anything like that. Y'all know I coming through with just
Someone's be like, explain.
I just want I come into it because I either want clarity or I about to hit you with a fact because some people speak on the timeline and just be saying anything, right? But when I notice that, like, let's say it's people on the timeline who, like, you just join Twitter and you run on with
Block.
your hot take, I just can block you one time
Block.
because it once I reply, you think I coming at you,
Yeah, and then I gotta
and
block
then
you.
you think you could row with me.
That ain't happening.
And I, as a woman with a career, a child, a husband,
That
and
ain't
things to
happening.
do,
Yeah.
I'm not around with nobody.
From I see joined after 2019, it's a block for me.
I start doing like listen, my friend Crystal, she is when the people start running, she's be like, "Why are you tweeting me? Why are you here?" So I just be like, "Okay, girl."
Okay, girl. Oh, that's my favorite.
Man or
appreciate-
woman, it don't matter.
I
Okay,
appreciate
girl.
honesty.
Okay, girl is gender
But
neutral.
as I sign off tonight,
You done with us?
I don't know. I
I
thought
think-
it was
I
wrap
actually
it up.
know we are
right?
wrapping
about to
up.
wrap up.
Let's stop.
He said,
Let's
wrap it up already.
let's stop being condescending. That's the only thing.
I
Yeah, like some
agree.
people just be coming at people like
Yeah,
y'all
just
just be
don't be
talking to some
condescending.
people
You want a public
crazy.
forum? Just don't be
And
condescending.
I mean, don't do that to me.
Y'all just be talking to people crazy. Y'all just be talking like y'all know people from time, like that's y'all family member and you was secretly hating them all.
And
from
even
y'all's
if
cousins,
you
all of-
did DM that person.
No,
they
but
just be
don't-
like, "Oh, this you? I work in the bank. I know you only got $3 on your account. What you doing
Now
that
I go
for?"
into the bank HR
if you DM me, we
because that $3 was between
Yeah.
me, you,
Don't-
and the Lord.
Don't DM you.
yeah, don't DM me.
So you'd rather them do it on the timeline?
Let's just DM me part of the collection.
No,
But you rather them
listen.
say on the timeline, oh yeah.
He just be ready though. You don't play with them even when they try come for him on the timeline. I see somebody try do it with him and he still make them look silly. I mean, and he wasn't even being mean. He was just like,
Okay, girl.
and I ain't gonna say it because if I say it,
Okay, girl.
then I mean it makes it very obvious.
Obvious.
But yo, let's try influence positivity out there, right?
Mhm.
Like what you like, share what you love. I trying to find something like Tumblr to say.
Don't
Oh,
yuck
God.
people's yum.
Love live.
Don't yuck people's yum, babe. But share your yum, and other people gonna enjoy the yum too, babe.
That's true.
I agree, and you know something, like people are passionate about certain things and they would not necessarily share it on social media. I mean, whatever.
I share everything I'm passionate about.
And I
This
think
is my
everybody
year
should
for
do
that.
that. I think everybody should do that because everybody has different points of view, and me and Zina wouldn't be friends if
It wasn't for
if
the
we
great
were
Twitter,
not
you
like
know?
posting about the things that we really like. As she posted stuff, as I posted stuff, we both realized like, hey, we have a lot in common.
Yeah. And that's that. Now here we are
Now here we are.
Shout out
on
to
this
that
show.
voice.
And y'all listening. Shout out to who?
The voice she do just now.
Dinner with Jay-Z.
Dinner with Jay. Z, you know?
Get it?
But yeah, for my wrap up, honestly, I think obviously there are influencers here. Like there's people daily that you look for their content. If you don't look for their content, you wait for their content.
Yeah.
And I also think when it comes to influencing, like my last thing, it's okay to pivot. Like it's okay to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a lifestyle girly and now you have a baby, you want to be a mommy blogger, do that. If you are genuinely growing your audience and your community, they should be growing with you.
Yeah.
So if tomorrow you feel like, hey, I want to be a plant mommy blogger, like do that. Do that. The people that really like your content, they're going to stick around.
Yeah. As somebody who is technically in management and marketing, I would just like to say, if you can do this thing, take it very seriously.
Yes.
At the end of the day, especially when it comes down to wanting to pursue brand sponsorships and stuff like that. You have to come with your facts. You got to come with data because at the end of the day, I got to look at a budget and see how much I got to spend and what's going to be the return on my investment. If you can't even say, well, this how many people follow me, this my engagement rate, this and that or whatever. Like every now and then I check my own engagement rate. And honestly, I only kind of check it. It's bad. I check it up against like some of the pages that I have to run.
And
then I
your
be like,
engagement higher than the page. Like,
yeah.
ah.
Yeah, but it also depends on the industry you're working
yeah,
for too. Sometimes you just be
some
working for
industries people just don't care
some
about.
boring stuff, and
Yeah,
my current employee ain't nobody want to hear nothing from them.
and that's why I have started, working on my content creation so much outside of my traditional employment because I mean that's the kind of stuff I care about, and clearly that's what the people care about too.
It also sharpens your skills.
Yes,
So yeah,
like I
child.
say, I update my LinkedIn.
So yeah, that's the end of our show today. I hope you
Yes.
guys enjoyed it. We actually didn't get, you know, we may have to bring this back up
Yeah,
again.
there might be like a part two. We probably should bring an influencer on.
I think we should. I think we should bring two. I have one in particular in mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be real controversial.
Oh,
But
jeez.
anyways, we probably will do it in the second season.
Yeah, this is just the first season, and we have so much more topics. Like
So many
literally
more.
every day, we like, hey, we should talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
We should talk about that.
Don't worry, we got a whole notebook
Each of us,
worth
crazy.
of topics for us to discuss. So that's our show for today. I thank you
Yes.
so much for joining us. Whether you're listening while you drive, eat dinner, or at work, you could have been listening to anyone else, but you decided to spend some time with us. We hope that you enjoyed it and maybe had a good laugh. And like Zina always says,
I hope you have the night that you deserve. You can find us at Dinner with Jay-Z on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to share the show with someone if you liked it. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Retweet our tweets. Like us on Instagram. And at this point, if you are still tuned in, I need a fun emoji. Send us a steak and a wine.
not a steak and a wine.
Yep.
But they have to send us, no, they have to first send us the camera, the steak, and the wine.
yes.
Because, we taking the picture stuff for the
Exactly. A camera, steak, and a wine. That's the emojis for this week. If you didn't know, this is a solid pod.
Da-da-da-da.